There are shipwrecks at the bottom of the ocean that tell stories we were never supposed to hear. Some are military secrets that slipped beneath the waves, others were just never meant to be found because of what they were carrying or how they went down. It was just too disturbing. But thanks to curious divers and deep-sea technology, these wrecks have been uncovered, and what's inside them? Well, let's just say, some things should have stayed lost. They found a ship full of corpses with faces frozen in terror. In 1947, multiple ships in the Strait of Malacca received a chilling distress call. A voice from the Dutch freighter Ourang Medan broadcasted, quote, "All officers including the captain dead, lying in chart room and bridge, possibly whole crew dead." Then, after a burst of gibberish, one final message came through, quote, "I die." When a rescue team boarded the seemingly undamaged ship, they found the entire crew dead. Their eyes were wide open, their arms stretched out in defense, and not a single injury was found on their bodies. Right after the investigators boarded, the ship caught fire and exploded. The wreck sank, leaving behind zero evidence, and to this day, no one knows what caused the deaths or if the ship ever officially existed. This ship vanished for over 170 years, and what they found inside was horrifying. The HMS Terror was part of the infamous Franklin expedition, a British mission to the Northwest Passage in 1845. It disappeared along with its sister ship, HMS Erebus. For decades, searchers found only bones and scattered camp remains, some with cut marks suggesting human consumption. But in 2016, the Terror was found perfectly preserved beneath the Arctic ice. Inside, explorers discovered intact china, boots still standing, and even unopened tins of food. It was like the crew had just vanished. The eeriest part? The captain's cabin was locked from the inside. Experts believe the crew became trapped in ice, then slowly succumbed to starvation, madness, and possibly something even darker. When the MV Joyita turned up weeks after vanishing, its entire crew was gone, but their belongings were still there. In 1955, the MV Joyita left Samoa with 25 people on board, and it never arrived. 5 weeks later, the boat was discovered adrift 600 miles off course. The radios were tuned to the distress frequency, the logbook, navigation equipment, and lifeboats were missing, but the crew's luggage, medical supplies, and cargo were untouched. There were no signs of struggle, no bodies, and no explanation. Theories have ranged from piracy to mutiny to alien abduction, but to this day, not one person from the Joyita has ever been found. This wreck sparked an international war over $500 million in treasure. In 2007, a private company called Odyssey Marine Exploration discovered a shipwreck off the coast of Portugal. What they pulled up shocked the world. Over 17 tons of silver and gold coins. But here's the twist. They refused to say what ship it was. Spain sued Odyssey, claiming the wreck was actually a Spanish galleon sunk in 1804 by the British. After a lengthy legal battle, a US court ruled in favor of Spain. Odyssey had to hand over the treasure, but the real mystery is, why was the ship carrying so much wealth in the first place? And, well, was it all there? This luxury liner went down in one of the strangest maritime collisions ever. The Andrea Doria was an Italian ocean liner, one of the most glamorous of its time. But in 1956, just a day from arriving in New York, it collided with the Swedish ship Stockholm. Even though both had radar, the Andrea Doria sank slowly but still claimed 46 lives. Divers who explored the wreck years later described eerie scenes, chandeliers still hanging, toys floating in cabins, and wine bottles perfectly intact. Stranger still, the collision should have been avoidable. Both captains claim they saw the other ship, but just misjudged the situation. Some even suspect that miscommunication wasn't the only thing to blame. This World War II German sub was supposed to be at the bottom of the ocean, but it's not there. For years, Germany believed the U-869 was sunk off the coast of Morocco during World World War II, but in 1991, recreational divers off the coast of New Jersey stumbled on a mysterious submarine, one that didn't match any Allied models. After years of diving and documentation, they confirmed the unbelievable. This was the U-869. No one knows why it was thousands of miles off course. The sub was sealed tight with the crew likely still inside. To this day, experts are baffled by its final voyage. Was it sent on a secret mission, or could it have been sabotaged? This sunken World War II ship could still explode and take an entire town with it. The SS Richard Montgomery sank in 1944 just off the coast of Kent, England. It was carrying over 6,000 tons of explosives, and when it went down, 1,400 tons of them remained trapped inside. The shipwreck is still there today, and it is deteriorating. Government reports warn that if the munitions ever detonate, the blast could destroy a nearby port town, flood the Thames estuary, and cause mass casualties. But also removing them is too risky, so instead they just watch it. It's quite literally a ticking time bomb just sitting beneath the waves. Everyone knows the Titanic, of course, but its sister ship's wreck is even more mysterious. The HMS Britannic was supposed to be safer than the Titanic. We've heard that before. It was redesigned with extra lifeboats and reinforced hulls, but in 1916, while serving as a hospital ship, it struck an underwater mine near Greece and sank in just 55 minutes, even faster than the Titanic. One nurse was famously sucked into the propellers while trying to escape. The wreck was discovered in the 1970s, lying on its side, remarkably well preserved. Divers have found medical equipment, surgical tools, and even stretchers still strapped in place. The weirdest part is that no one knows how it sank so fast, even with all of its safety upgrades. This shipwreck is so valuable it triggered a modern-day treasure war. The San José was a Spanish galleon sunk by the British in 1708 near Colombia. It was carrying one of the richest hauls ever, over 200 tons of gold, silver, and emeralds. It became known as the Holy Grail of shipwrecks, and in 2015, Colombia finally found it. But instead of celebration, chaos followed. Spain claimed it. Indigenous groups claimed it. Treasure hunters who had been searching for years also claimed it. With over 17 billion in treasure still underwater, lawsuits and secrecy have clouded its fate. To this day, Colombia keeps the exact coordinates classified because they know people will try to take it anyway. When divers found this ship in the Great Lakes, they weren't prepared for what was still inside. In 1927, the SS Kamloops vanished in Lake Superior during a brutal snowstorm. It wasn't found until 50 years later in 1977. When divers explored the wreck, they found something chilling, literally. One crewman's body was still there, perfectly preserved, suspended in the engine room. His eyes were open, his skin had turned a waxy white, and he simply became known as the Frozen Man. Thanks to the cold, dark waters of the lake, he hadn't really decomposed. The Kamloops remains one of the eeriest wreck dives in North America, and the Frozen Man is apparently still there today. So what do you think? Should some of these shipwrecks have stayed hidden beneath the waves? Whether they were hiding secrets, treasure, or eerie remains, these discoveries remind us that the ocean doesn't forget, even if we do. And sometimes what we pull out of the deep is far more terrifying than what we expected.